So basically, you're trying to say you're not a fan of Hardik Pandya. That's what you're trying to say, yeah.
I don't know the PG rate. What's the censorship level of this show?
There is none. Now his whole thing is about who's getting cast in Shaktiman.
Yeah.
That's the whole, every day that's the story. And I'm like, how are you milking this so much? It's fantastic. Great job.
Every day he's on my reel. Suddenly एक pigeon को पीछे से गोली लगता है. You're like, oh, अब क्या हुआ? And then they reveal Edwina Mountbatten is there with a gun. And you're like, bhai, yeah, like you didn't need this intro for like, Lady Mountbatten. गोली मार दिया उधर. The child, man, you see this armored guy and this computer generated whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
Dude, but like that show.
God. When I heard that Freedom at Midnight was being adapted on screen, I had the same excitement that I had a few years back when Midnight's Children was being adapted.
Right.
And I was like, boy, oh my God. And made by an Indian, Nikhil Advani, again somebody I really like otherwise. I'm like, bhai, maza aa jayega.
In my house, my wife, somebody gave my daughter a Veronica Digest number, some whatever the fuck. Right? So I'm like, how is this? Like, I used to read this a lot. Yeah, keep rolling. It's good. I used to read this a lot. And I started reading the story, dude. Like, you're like, okay, the story arc has to be set up, punchline, right? There is one episode where she just, throughout this thing, she's like, Archie, I love you so much. Smooch. Then Archie, I love you so much. I'm like, bhai, ye foreplay. Fucking weird comic, dude.
Oh man, yes.
Isn't it weird?
Yes.
It's very. I never understood. Now that I think about it, I'm like, what is the vibe?
Yeah. A lot of these things when you watch or read later and you realize कि ये बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं.
That's correct.
Yeah. Like I saw some reel, of course, with some cartoon compilation of.
Yeah, just like here, this much. Yeah.
Okay. Are we rolling already? Or मतलब ऐसे ही. हाँ,
ऐसे
cartoon
time pass,
compilation which was like ये नहीं देख सकते बच्चे यार. It's too adult.
My dad hated Archies because of this only. He used to say, Asterix padho, Tintin padho, what is all this smooching and all? Asterix was super fun, yeah.
Too many jokes. Like even as an adult, you can see the jokes.
Yeah. And also the puns.
The puns.
So many puns.
Yeah, every name is a pun.
Every name, get a fix, where you get a fix.
Yeah.
Oblix, like the Oblix.
Yeah.
Asterix, that doesn't make sense. But he's small.
Yeah.
Is that the idea that he's Asterix?
Yeah, maybe that works.
Vital
Get
statistics.
up vital statistics, amazing, one of my favorite.
Yeah,
names.
then there is...
I'll give you a fun fact.
Yeah.
I did my engineering in biotechnology. But then 2004, there was a new stream, I don't know abhi college mein hota hai ki nahi, which was a combination of biotechnology and computer science, which was supposed to be the coolest thing. So in my second year, I moved to that branch. That branch was called bioinformatics. So for 3 years, all my friends were like, "Bhai, tu ek Asterix character mein engineering kar raha hai."
Bioinformatics. That's hilarious. No, if bioinformatics was in Asterix, what would be this person's power? He would be like something related to bio.
Yeah, genome sequencing and like.
पर उस
cloning
village में
DNA.
क्या करेगा वो? Like he'll be like,
Yeah.
he'll be a
वो
plant.
बस information देगा हर plant का, हर animal का.
A journalist.
Yeah.
Like a town crier about like what kind of plants he saw that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, bioinformatics is
Bioinformatics.
back. He's
हर
back.
सुबह उठ के information देगा इसका genus ये है.
I saw a plant on top of a wild boar today.
Yeah.
Thanks, bioinformatics.
And bioinformatics.
Welcome to 3 Drinks Later. I have with me one of the luminaries of Indian comedy, Mr. Kumar Varun, aka KV. He's a comedian, an actor, a quizzer, a husband.
Yes.
What else are you?
A son, a brother.
A son, a brother.
A parent to my dog.
A parent of a dog, yeah.
And a comrade of Sorabh.
A comrade, yeah. We are starting a union tomorrow, yeah.
No, yeah. Two Star Wars fans.
Yeah. Oh shit, dude! I didn't realize.
I just realized. I saw Luke and I was like, "Bhai, what are the odds?"
It is damn.
Oh man.
Where did you find yours?
This one was some London, New York type.
It's just randomly roaming around, no?
Yeah.
Same.
Randomly. Some store somewhere in the corner, some phrase clearance sale or something.
Yeah. Same. I was in, I think, Jakarta.
Yeah.
And I was just, walking and my wife was like, get me something. I'm like, sure. And I'm like, yeah, tray. मैं खुद के लिए
I see Star Wars ticket, I just buy.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about many things to talk about. First of all, how have you been? You've been married for a year now.
Yes, 1.5. I will be 2 years in a couple of months.
As I said, you've been married for almost 2 years now.
Yes.
How is marriage? Tell the public. What is marriage?
Marriage.
Do you recommend it?
Oh yes, I highly recommend it. highly recommend marriage. It's a great way of being with someone, companionship.
Yeah.
Two people who are happy alone will
Yeah,
be
yeah.
happy together. That's the one thing I've learned over the last
Yeah.
couple of years. You need to be very happy and satisfied with your own life alone for you to be happy in a relationship.
So basically, you're trying to say you're not a fan of Hardik Pandya. That's what you're
Yes.
trying to say, yeah.
I don't know the PG rate. What's the censorship level of this show?
There is none. I mean, there's jokes that I have to drop each time. But yeah. Anyway, cheers, Mr.
Cheers.
Varun.
Cheers.
What is this that we are having?
Cheers. Today for Sorabh, I've gotten a beautiful Scotland single malt whiskey.
Nice.
Or you can be anal whether it's single malt whiskey, Scotch, but it's a beautiful, beautiful drink which I hope you
Nice.
like. And yeah, it's right all the way from Scotland. People who are whiskey connoisseur like me might judge us for having it in a
Yeah, yeah.
non-whiskey glass, but that's okay. It's a lot of ice, just whiskey.
Yeah. And
The
we were
brand it starts with D. That's a
just,
big famous brand.
Diageo.
No,
Dolce and Gabbana.
no. It's owned by White and McKay now, but the brand is. Please, Dalmore, sponsor us
Yeah.
if you can.
Dalmore, please
Dalmore,
sponsor it.
yeah.
It's funny, and also we had ice on it because it was provided with ice, and we have no place to throw the ice. So
Correct.
hence, this is we are just explaining ourselves because I know people will start off with their
Yeah,
fucking comments
that's
like,
fine.
yeah.
I'm very wary of comments.
Yeah.
They genuinely ruin my day. I still haven't reached that point where I can ignore them.
Yeah.
Because we wore Star Wars. My first ever stand-up, which I posted in 2019. First.
Yeah.
One of the first comments ever on my stand-up was, look at this middle-aged men wearing cool Star Wars t-shirt. Like, bhai. First of all, the first Star Wars movie came out before I was born. Like,
Yeah,
Star Wars is not some Gen Z thing.
Yeah.
The first movie came out in 1977. Bhai, you can't watch like Boba Fett and become like Star Wars fan. Or
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi dekha, Ashoka dekha, main Star Wars fan hu. Bhai, please.
Yeah,
Please
yeah.
sit down.
So Star Wars is interesting because like I got into Star Wars in the pandemic.
Oh.
Like I never watched it before. I just didn't have time. Like dude, I started watching Breaking Bad today after years because I saw episodes of it long back, and there was some episode where like I just didn't have the patience back then. I realized. Where they were just focusing on some fly. A fly is going on. I don't know what that episode was.
Famous
Like
episode,
क्या है मक्खी के पीछे मक्खी का तो मूवी बनाया अपन लोग ने इंडिया में
Yeah,
ऐसा क्या
great
बकवास
movie.
है ग्रेट सुपर मूवी what is it called?
It's in Hindi it's called Makhi, but in original movie name it's called Ega.
I knew you'd know the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is
yeah,
why I asked you. I'm like, this guy will know the answer. If Kumar Varun doesn't
What
know
a great movie. I mean, Rajamouli. I mean,
yeah,
one of his.
superb movie. And we'll come to talk about movies. And then, so Star Wars I started watching properly in the pandemic. I'm like, damn, now I get the hype. And then I saw that the new ones and I'm like, what is this? I don't know what happened.
Fair thing to say. The Fly episode from Breaking Bad is what
Yeah.
they call bottle episode, where every great show in almost every season has an episode where they don't have budget, but they have to make like 10 episodes or something.
Yeah.
So they make one episode only at one location, etc. Two biggest examples. One is from drama, which is Fly, Breaking Bad. One is from comedy. Seinfeld has an episode called the Chinese Restaurant.
Yeah, fantastic.
Which is legendary episode where they just wait at the Chinese restaurant for table.
Yeah.
That was a bottle episode.
Dude, there was who's a guy who made Baby Driver. The Shaun of the
Right.
Dead guy. Edgar Wright. So Edgar Wright basically tells a story. He's like, when I made my first movie, I realized that we needed to get to 87 minutes, which was how much they said that a movie has to be. And he's like, I was only at 83 minutes. So I'm like, I have no money left. So what do I do? So he's like, okay, we'll go to a sound studio and I'll just record a black frame with audio on top and pretend that people are stuck in a room without light. I'm like, that is genius.
Wow. But what a guy, Edgar Wright. Amazing.
superb.
Oof.
And very funny guy also.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this. I thought this was so funny. So Chunky Pandey was on Kapil Sharma show and talking about.
Yes, I saw that.
And did you see that? And I love Chunky Pandey. He's this is just so much fun. And,
I'm joking.
and unlike this, like so much of this, I would say almost on the border or beyond of toxic alpha of that generation. And then there's Chunky Pandey, who's just a chill guy. He's not trying to dominate you. He's just like, I'm a dude having fun. I've enjoyed my career. Just enough. I like him. So he said in this thing, but he said that he was hired to perform or to show up at a funeral. Now, that leads me to ask you, what is the strangest request you've ever had for a show? Where somebody's like, KV, you come here.
Apart from the usual, which is like just birthday party and all that, trying to think of weird. Not really.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
but I want to say this out loud in public that I am more than happy to come, especially for quizzes,
Yeah.
and perform at weddings and birthday. I did a birthday party quiz a few months back, but I have a couple of wedding inquiries. But legit, I want to. I want your audience to know that I'm more than happy to come to your birthday parties, weddings, not funeral. I don't know. Funeral
A funeral quiz would be
quiz about the
amazing.
person who passed away.
Dude, that is damn
It's
cool.
a great way to honor the legacy of that person. Yeah, I don't mind.
So there's a book called Speaker for the Dead, Speaker of the Dead, Speaker for the Dead, one of my favorite sci-fi novels. And it's basically a story about a guy who gets hired to talk at people's funerals. So he comes to the place and it's like obviously sci-fi, so he goes to this X planet and whatever, and he does research about this person for like 7-10 days, try to figure out everything, and then he ends it by giving a whole speech on what the person is like.
Wow.
And I read that and I'm like, what a fantastic idea, dude.
Yeah.
And so a quiz on the person would be actually quite a cool way to validate somebody who's had a fun existence.
Yeah. And India has the concept of Rudali, right? The
Yeah,
word
yeah.
Rudali means that.
Yeah.
Like people are professionally hired to go and cry at funerals. in
Yeah,
weddings.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, Chunky Panday was hired and they said that we'll pay more money agar aap roge to.
I
Mast
saw
hai
that.
re.
I saw that. But you're right about Chunky. Like the
Yeah.
whole generation, he came in Indian cinema with obviously the aspiration of becoming a lead actor, right? He had
Yeah.
the looks, he had did a few movies also, like, but then he became supporting actor with Aankhein, and then his arc went somewhere. But he's there. He's been there.
Yeah.
He's done everything. Like he's been there as a chill guy, like Aakhri Pasta and all. A nice second inning.
Yeah, and also when he comes on screen, you're like, hey, now I'm a little happier that he's here.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is always like,
Good
even
vibe.
on that show, what is the show? The Fabulous Lives of Bollywood.
Yeah.
Every time he comes, I'm like, Arey, thanks, man. You're making your corny jokes and dad jokes. And enjoy yourself,
And
yeah.
he can take jokes. Like people
Yeah.
keep talking about how he never returns their money, and that's a running gag, and he's fully enjoying it.
Yeah.
And now he's a very successful family. The daughter is a famous actor. The
Yeah,
wife
yeah.
is a reality TV star. Why not, man?
So no, yeah, Chunky Panday is fun.
Chunky
Like,
Panday is a very fun.
yeah, I really like, because I have a feeling that like a lot of them, like dude, Mukesh Khanna is a very interesting guy to me.
Oh my god.
Like he's so fascinating, dude. But did you see Shaktiman growing up? Did you ever
A little bit.
I never watched it.
A little bit, because I was barely home as a kid. I was very much in hostel and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that. And जब मैं घर पे था when Shaktiman was, I saw a few episodes
Yeah.
here and there. But I think of Mukesh Khanna every day, and I'm not exaggerating. I'll tell you for two reasons. One is because some of you might know I'm doing a series on Mahabharat on YouTube
Yeah.
and various podcast platforms. So Mahabharat, of course, he played Bhishma.
Yeah.
So every time Bhishma's reference comes, I visualize him because that's the most famous portrayal of Bhishma.
And he did a
on
great
screen.
job, dude.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. The other reason is right across my house is an office with a big board that says Shaktiman Acting Studio or Classes with him as Shaktiman, not as Mukesh Khanna. Shaktiman costume.
Yeah.
Every day I leave my house, I see, "Arey yaar." Subah he's like, please remake mat bana, whatever he's doing. But yeah, what an arc.
What an arc, yeah.
What an arc.
And like now his whole thing is about who's getting cast in Shaktiman.
Yeah.
That's the whole, every day that's the story. And I'm like, how are you milking this so much? It's fantastic. Great job.
Every day he's on my reel.
Yeah, every day.
Some
Yeah.
like I saw the other day, he was comparing himself with Amitabh Bachchan in one reel.
Yeah.
The other day he was scolding a journalist in press conference. चुप हो जाओ, तुम लोग ऐसे बात करते रहते हो.
But was that a gag or was that him seriously getting angry with the journalist?
I don't. It looked like serious only.
Yeah,
like,
but also
it's-
like, I mean, I've been for a couple of these things and sometimes they are really really
yeah, but if you
obnoxious.
see a lot of his interviews over the past few years are very problematic.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's,
I mean, you look at Bhishma Pitama.
yeah.
Then he did a few nice roles in movies, like some of Subhash Ghai movies. He was like Saudagar, I think he had a minor part and all that. Then you see him as Shaktiman and a cultural icon for many people. Then you see him talking about women and a lot of very problematic things.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like, "Bhai, kya hai yaar?"
And like his thing about Ranveer Singh को मैंने 3 घंटे के लिए रुकवाया and I'm like, but why is this a topic of conversation?
How
Like,
is this a brag?
yeah, how is this a brag?
किसी को रुकवाना.
नहीं मेरे ऑफिस में रहा था वो 3 घंटे के लिए negotiate करने के लिए कि मुझे बनना
मुझे
चाहिए.
शक्तिमान.
Yeah, but and it again comes back to that whole thing of the old school actor.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that back then to survive, that was what you required, I guess. I assume
Yeah.
you needed to be that person of like where somebody's like, I fear you, so you must be better than me.
Yeah. It's a power hierarchy kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
which
for
is how you also dominate the comedy scene in India.
Yes,
Yeah. Everybody fears you. Yeah.
I am Vito Corleone of stand-up comedy. I sit like this, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Vito Cornioli. Yeah, that's yeah.
I'll do this.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to Tong Garden
Yeah.
because this is one brand that both Sorabh and I really
We love
like.
it.
And पहले ये ज़्यादा मिलता नहीं था. It used to only you would find it in hotels, and also whenever I used to travel to Singapore for work or for personal reasons, I would always buy Tong Garden from there.
Yeah.
Now it's available in it. Tong Garden, if you are watching anybody
Yeah.
from Tong Garden, please sponsor this podcast.
Yeah, I've approached Strong Garden, and the response I was telling KV also, the response I got from them is, I said, hey, would you like to sponsor the podcast? And they said, we are based out of Ahmedabad. I'm like, does that answer my question? And then they just stopped replying. So I'm like, just say more things to me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and we gave a free plug right now. KV nicely gave a free plug because we like
Free
the product.
plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's products we like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay, today we are going to also talk about the most bizarre movies you've seen in 2024.
Oh man.
Now, again, I want to mention right up top, okay? We are not talking about the content because sometimes people disassociate, like they're like, Arey, if you're talking about the content in whatever way, that means that you hate the content. And I'm like, no, the representation of the content sometimes is a problem. So I want to talk about the most bizarre movie I saw in 2024. And I gotta ask you this: are you seeing way less movies than you ever saw before? Because there's so much content that I'm watching literally 2.5 to 3 hours of YouTube and podcasts and whatever the hell it is. I'm not watching movie. I think probably in 2024 I may have seen maybe 12 movies at max.
No, thankfully I'm watching a lot of films.
Yeah.
But my going to theater to watch new movie,
Yeah.
that has gone considerably down compared
yeah.
to my life earlier. That doesn't happen. I have to be really, really excited to go and watch. But at home, I keep. In fact, I think I watch 3 to 4 movies every week, I would say.
Wow, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, you're like
I watch a lot of
Ram
movies.
Gopal Varma or Quentin Tarantino.
I think so. I'm a big fan of both of those names.
Yeah. We're supposed to do a RGV.
We should.
We
I
should
just
one day. We
watched
should.
Company. I just watched Company.
I haven't
like
seen
yesterday.
it. Does it hold up?
Of course. Oh my God. I'm obsessed with Mumbai underworld in general.
Yeah.
And RGV kind of cinema. And Company is just fantastic. So good.
Yeah, Vivek Oberoi.
Vivek Oberoi, Ajay Devgan, Mohan Lal.
Oh, Mohan Lal, I'd forgotten, dude.
Koirala, Antara Mali, Seema Biswas, Vijay Raj, Rajpal Yadav. What a film.
Oh yeah. We should do a retrospective on RGV films.
Why not?
Because,
Anytime.
like, I think now he's become a meme where he's like licking people's toes and all that shit, which also I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, how amusing.
Post 2005-6 is. I don't want to talk. I want to erase that. Like an eternal sunshine kind of a thing. Just erase. But RGB from Shiva to Sarkar, unbeatable.
It'll be great if like you are in eternal sunshine of the specialist mind and your whole priority is like, I want to erase Ram Gopal.
He's like, do you want to remove your whatever family trauma? I want to remove post Sarkar Raj RGB.
Sir, are you sure? You can think about this for a couple
No.
of... I've decided.
Please remove whatever he made after that, whatever he said and spoke.
Oh, yeah,
But the point is I watch a lot of films,
Yeah.
but not new films, barely
Yeah.
new films. I still haven't watched Gladiator, which I was very excited about. Still haven't felt the whole going to theater is so much, like you have to plan, you have to get up, go. But I watch a lot of movies on Prime and Netflix and all of this,
I've been to the theater 6 times in 2024 and 5 of those times was to watch kids movies.
For you, though, at least there's that motivation.
And dude,
right?
like it's some of them are damn manipulative towards parents, man. Like I'm like tearing up and shit, and my children are like, "What's up with this guy, man?"
Yeah.
Like I saw a movie called Migration, which is about ducks.
Okay.
And there was some scene where something was happening and the children were in danger. And I was like all getting really emo. And my kids are like, ah.
No, but there's something I completely agree with you because we started with Star Wars. I want to talk about Mandalorian, which is, I think, the only legit great show that has come out from the barrage of shows
Star
that
Wars,
they've been making
yeah.
over the last few years. Mandalorian, you just see the first 2 episodes. The very first episode, how do they do that? Like, I admire movie making, or like, there is a character, you can't even see his face, the Mandalorian, He's fully in armor and all. And there is the character called the Child, which people often refer to as Baby Yoda. But I know Star Wars not will be like Baby Yoda.
What is his name again? It's something else, no?
The name is revealed later, so I
you're
saved
trying to
it
avoid
for the first.
spoilers.
The Child. And the Child, man, you see this armored guy and this computer generated whatever.
Yeah.
You're like,
Dude, but like that show, it is so much hinging on how cute that child is.
It's too cute.
But if it was not, if it was poorly done, that whole show would have collapsed.
Yeah.
Like imagine a child, like I mean, I would request somebody to use AI to make this happen and send it to us. Imagine if the child is just your face and like the body of that. Like you wouldn't be that like emotional about it, but because that kid
100%.
is like got all the characteristics of cuteness: big eyes, small face, small body, not able to talk clearly, all the rest of that stuff. All of it ticks all the boxes of the things that trigger a human being.
Yeah. It just coos and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But that's what I think Nietzsche or some great philosopher said, right?
Yeah.
Like humanity works like that. Like you never feel a second of guilt when you kill a cockroach, right?
Yeah.
But when it's a butterfly, you're like, oh. It's all about this aesthetics and all that, you know?
Yeah.
Both of those are insects, cockroach and butterfly. But butterfly nahi marte aap dekh.
Yeah.
Cockroach, you're like,
Dude,
so yeah, a lot
I
of
killed
that.
a cockroach. Like my daughter keeps telling me to kill cockroaches, right? And she's like, "Papa, cockroach." And I have to go rise up to the to kill this tiny. Yesterday I did like the cockroach was roaming around, and then I tried to throw water on it to make it fall down because it's hiding into crevice. That same technique we use, and it just kept going, and then she went to sleep, and then again I go to the bath, again the cockroach is there. So then it fell into the toothbrush ka thing. So then I had to excavate all the toothbrushes. Then I tried to drown the cockroach, and I'm doing that. And I'm like, "What are you doing, dude? Like, what a weird thing to do." And then I had to hit it with a slipper. I'm like, "What a bizarre! Like, what are we doing?" And I felt a moment of guilt, but I'm like, I don't like this cockroach.
Fair.
And then I started thinking, I had an idea which I've been working on for a long time, which is about, and I've been working on this book for 3 years in my mind. I never figured out how to bloody write it, which is about an alien coming to India, right? Because I'm like, why do aliens always go outside?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I want this alien to come to India, and I want his priority to be that he has to kill 10 Indians. And it's like on the basis of most arbitrary basis that he's killing Indians. And then I'm like, maybe he's from a like legion of cockroaches, and they're like, why have you taken? And I'm like, all these thoughts happen. Anyway, that book is never going to get written.
Some of the most resilient creatures. Like there is a theory, right, that cockroaches can survive nuclear attack.
But apparently not true, no?
Yeah, apparently not true. But it's a crazy theory to.
Yeah.
What a bragging right for an insect. To be like, उनका चल रहा है आपस में. They're like, भाई caterpillar का ये scene है, उसका ये butterfly कोई नहीं मारता. And cockroach comes and says कि भाई तुझे पता नहीं हिरोशिमा में मेरे एक पूर्वज रहते थे. कुछ नहीं हुआ उनको. फिर वो नागासाकी में गए कैब लेके. कुछ नहीं हुआ.
पोस्ट कार्ड भेजते हैं अभी तक.
पोस्ट कार्ड भेजते हैं अभी तक भाई डूब रहे हैं लेकिन मर नहीं रहे. Yeah.
Okay, so let's come to. I want to talk about a movie that I enjoyed it, but like not for the right reasons. And it's a movie called Kalki 2989. I'm sure there's some significance to this. We are getting this wrong
There is. I know the
unintentionally.
significance.
Yeah, and also before we start talking about this movie, I just want to tell you, we want to discuss the content of it without getting into the certain aspects of it which people get triggered by. So just letting you know that it's about a movie as a concept. Now, you've seen this movie as well.
I've seen parts of it. I think the first half.
Yeah. I saw all of it in the theater, and it's like going to the theater is an experience right now, right? Because you're like taking time off, and you're like, I want to be immersed in a movie because it like I think the interesting part about going to a movie now is that for whatever 2 hours, 1.5 hours, whatever the period is, I'm not looking at my phone. In this, I was getting distracted a lot because the movie is the first 5 minutes is genuinely very interesting, and the last 25 minutes is genuinely very interesting, and the middle is just anything is going on. It's like the World Cup final, basically. Yeah. And also Kalki is marketed as a sci-fi movie. But there is no sci. The sci aspect is just anything is going on.
There's no sci.
There's no sci, dude. It's like the sci, like at least back it up with some kind of science. But there's no attempt to like. Most of this movie I was watching and I'm like, okay, this is basically Blade, Dune, Fury Road, Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah.
And I was discussing with my friend. I'm like, this is basically if you want to watch all those movies in 2.5 hours. And my friend told me, he's like, yeah, but most of the public that's watching this movie has not seen those movies. I'm like, that's probably true. But so, and then you start again having this debate with yourself, which is that this was not made for me, you know? And then I'm like, but I watched it, so I want to talk about it. Yeah.
I think when I heard about the movie, I was very excited.
Same.
Because, India, I really think we lack a culture where there on many fronts in cinema. Like, we haven't been able to make great biopics. That's one grudge that I have, as much as we should have. We haven't made great war movies as much as we should have. For example, for people who are not getting this, US did one Second World War, okay?
Yeah.
Which, if you read history, you'll realize US's contribution
Yeah.
was way less than, say, the Red Army. Okay, but I'm not going there.
Yeah.
One Normandy landing, there are some million movies and great movies. You know?
Yeah.
Every little aspect of World War II, they have nichodo fight. India, look at 1971 war. Fuck, great war.
Yeah.
What a great military victory. Insane. Border, that's it. One movie you can think of, maybe 1971. Like 2-3 movies you can think of.
Yeah.
Man, we should have a movie from that war every year. It was one of the proudest moments in Indian history.
Right.
There are so many. Look at them. They keep making biopics.
Yeah.
They make biopics of the same person from different aspects of their life.
Yeah.
कि उसका ये हिचकॉक के इस टाइम का लाइफ है, ये चैपलिन का भाई हमारे यहाँ there should be a किशोर कुमार biopic every year. There should be a Raj Kapoor biopic, Madhubala biopic. क्या चल? Anyway, that's a different rant.
Yeah. So, but also like the biopics, I think the thing is that I think we've had too many biopics which are just like I saw the Sanju movie.
We don't make honest biopics.
Yeah, that Sanju. I mean, dude, like I was such a huge fan of, and I still am of Rajkumar Hirani.
Yeah.
And that movie was so horrendous, dude. It was such a bad film and like so poorly acted. I know people kept going on about Ranbir Kapoor, but I'm like, first of all, your accent is slipping so much. Like I remember there was a scene, okay, where he's like, "Mere ko aisi kya dekh rahe tu?" And then he's outside a New York club. He's like, "Can I go inside?" I'm like, "Kidhar hai tera accent? Achanak kaise gayab ho gaya, bhai?"
I mean, biopic of people who are still very active, it does not make sense to me.
Yeah.
Make a Sunil Dutt biopic if you want to.
Yeah.
And make it honest.
Yeah.
Like the Western biopics are very like this person had this great thing, some flaw, great thing, flaw. Or make a little bit about how this person prepared for this role, whatever, something like that.
But it's interesting that you mentioned the 1971 war, where it's like our owners, our basis on making that movie would be about focusing on this aspect, which is the direct aspect of that war. And I'm like, there's 15 other ways to approach that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a direct, review of everything. It can be something else.
Yeah.
It can be about a child lost something. It could be, there's so many ways to look at it.
That's what World War II, they keep making about different aspects of the war.
Yeah.
1971 war had too many fronts. There is the Bengal front, there is Punjab, there is of course Rajasthan, which we saw in border. There is the whole Ghazi attack, there was one movie came out. But
You've seen all these movies, or?
most of them, because I'm obsessed with Indian history, as you know. But I think we could do more, some great cinema around our history. So again, coming back to things that are based on Mahabharata, Ramayana, etc., I get very excited. Like, oh, okay. Anything to do with Mahabharata and all, I particularly excited. And we've had great adaptations of Mahabharata, no doubt. So I was very excited. And the cast, I was like, bhai, what is this casting coup? You have Amitabh, you have Kamal Hassan.
Yeah.
Apart from like Deepika and like whoever else, I was like, bhai, I can't wait. I saw the first teaser, and it was called Project K or something when it was being made.
Project
like,
K.
Oh man, oh.
It sounds like a serial, yeah.
Yeah, kab aayega ye, kab aayega? Man, I saw first half, and like you said, you feel like you're watching Dune, you're watching Mad Max, you're watching all of this in a very shoddy way.
Yeah.
And I'm getting the message. Please, again, audience was like, oh, please.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I got all the references that they were going for with Ashwatthama and Kalki Avatar and references to Arjun, Krishna, everything. Just doesn't land.
It didn't land for me at all. And again, the first 5 minutes, the last 25 minutes, great and whatever. The interesting thing was like some of the choices where I'm like, if you're making a film which you've taken years and years to make, like I assuming that every decision would be poured over by everybody. Some of the dubbing was like the kid reaching the location and saying, "Is world ka aakhri sheher."
Wow.
And I'm like, what world are we in? That a child would say, "Is world ka aakhri sheher." I don't know, it's a dubbed version, but I'm like, you would say, "Is dunya ka," or something. And it really annoyed me because I'm like, and also the child's accent was very weirdly done. Then there's a point where he's like, Prabhas says, har side mein ek hi side hoti hai, meri side. I'm like, again, this is bizarre to me that the colloquial choices are very strange because I'm like, if you're looking so far into the future, we're looking like 800 years and whatever the number is into the future. I mean, would that be the language? Not, so it was just like a lot of things was just taking. So the other thing that I found interesting, right, is that the sci-fi aspect of it, which I thought was very funny, which is that it's supposed to be a world which is the last city that exists in the world, and it's a poor world where nothing exists, and this is the end of civilization. And the technology is insane. Like the technology, they have shields that just like automatically become 3D printers and I don't know what. And Prabhas is driving a car that is crazy. And I'm like, how is any of this being fueled? If you're the poorest, they have the complex, right? And again, it visually looks stunning, which is a reverse pyramid. I'm like, superb idea. But scientifically, How is this created? How is a pyramid reversed like that? And I'm like, if you told me that this is a movie which is based on magic, fully on board. Don't call this a sci-fi film because this is my favorite moment. Okay? My friend and me died laughing at this. Okay, they've spent 20 minutes establishing कि यहाँ पर कुछ पानी नहीं है, खाना नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, पेड़ नहीं उग रहे, blah 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 ये वो. प्रभास का एक fight sequence चल रहा है. Okay, and the fight sequence keeps cutting to this lady making pan. And I'm watching this going like, you just said there is no food and there is no plants. And the lady making a pan and she's making multiple pans. I'm like, pan is something you eat after having food. You don't have the food. Why are you eating this pan?
You need patta, you need a
yeah, you need like... So I just like, there's so many moments like that where it's just like taking away from it, yeah.
Oh man.
There's like, I'll tell you a couple more. So Star Wars ka hologram रहता है ना, where it's like, and the hologram is a one-way technology, right? Because they probably thought about it, that there is no way to make this two-way because galaxies and inter-galaxy communication is going to be hard, blah, blah, blah. In Kalki, there is a two-way hologram. And whenever it happened, I was like, how is this working? Because for a two-way hologram, you need either satellites or you need wires or you need some way to make this work. And also, where is the camera? Because the camera angle, just basically thinking, even if I'm a hologram, your angle would be this way. Right? Because the device is here, so it would come this, and all of this, I'm watching, I'm like, this is, dude, like my Vodafone doesn't have this technology right now. What is going on?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, so again, I don't know why I'm so wary of audience, because I don't know, that's a different topic only, because just too many. What we are trying to say here is you don't come. When you're watching sci-fi, there is a certain suspension of disbelief. Like you're like, okay, sci-fi hai, kuch hoga. But basic, you know what I mean? Like when you're watching an Iron Man, you're not like, अरे तब तो नहीं बोला कि वो कैसे उड़ जाता है ये वो. But something like this, like Star Wars has this hologram thing where a video comes, like Princess Leia, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, so you're like, okay. But they don't start talking, okay, where are you? Which planet? Coming. Sharing location. Because there's a capsule, वो उतना उन्होंने समझा दिया बिना समझाए कि उसने एक मैसेज रिकॉर्ड करके, it's like watching a video that's been sent to you, just a video. Like if you're watching a movie, you can't talk to Prabhas, no? उसी टाइम कि प्रभास अर्शद भारती देखो जोकर बोला यार भाई कैसा लग रहा है प्रभास? That doesn't happen, right? So how do you have two-way this thing, man? This is what we are trying to say.
Yeah, and also like again the thing is that if we make fun of something, doesn't mean we didn't like. We enjoyed the consumption of it. And also, it doesn't mean like I'm shitting on somebody else who enjoyed the movie. Dude, like my favorite like entertainer in all of India right now is Rajnikanth.
Yes,
I
am a big
love
fan.
Rajnikanth. I'm like, dude, like I saw Jailer.
Yeah.
Okay, and like what a great choice they made in Jailer, which is that when you actually think about the script, right? It's like some of the dialogues are very basic, but they made a choice, which is they're going to say the darkest shit with a smile. And that was hilarious. Like it was, I'm like, what a interesting choice which nobody's done ever. But they're like, तेरे को तो ना मैं काट के खा जाऊंगा और फिर उसको fry करके थोड़ा चम्मच. And said with a smile is immediately funny. So throughout this movie, okay, all I could think of was that if this was Rajnikanth, I'd buy all of it. Right? It's like, and again, nothing against Prabhas, but like Rajni is a separate beast. He's like, I mean, I would buy him in this 100%.
Rajni is. I am such a big fan of Rajnikanth. I can't explain. I have been disappointed with some of his movies in the last few years. Jailer being a big exception. I love Jailer. I saw it in theater. I saw it once it came on Prime Video. I keep watching it. There are some portions which I keep revisiting. This whole portion of the reveal when you know he was who he was. That's my favorite cinematic trope anyway. So I absolutely love Jailer. I love Rajni. I keep going back. I just watched Hum like last week.
Oh wow.
Absolutely. Like Padayappa, Dalapati, another great Mahabharata adaptation. I'm a huge Rajni. Oh, my YouTube history you'll see is Rajnikanth scene compilation, Rajnikanth mass scenes, things like that. His entry in Kabali is one of the favorite entries that I've ever seen. Kala has this rain fight sequence at Marine Line flyover, crazy. I'm a Rajni Bhakt. I'm reading a book on him, biopic, and that is making me watch a lot of film.
Oh wow!
So I read about like Dalapati, and I'm like, oh, now I have to watch. Keep the book, then watch the movie. Then like, oh, okay, Padayappa, shit, Padayappa. Legit, that's been happening for the last few months.
Dude, like when I saw Robot, aka Endiran, right? I hope I'm saying that correct.
Yeah, Endiran.
Like it is like I was like, there's a lot of again suspension of disbelief, but at least there's an attempt to like give the science some logic.
Absolutely.
And that's all I'm asking is like if you're doing a sci-fi, like just call it a fantasy film. No, then I'm like हाँ बिंदास. अभी magic में तो कुछ भी चलता है. Magic में कुछ भी रहा है. मैं magic क्या ठीक है जादू है मस्त है करेगा बिंदास.
No, I was saying I thought I'll eat this, but then I suddenly realized वो.
Yeah, it
in
is
the
a
sound, it'll
crunchy
be
sound.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this. Not worth it. I'll fuck whatever you are saying also.
Yeah.
But यही fun ना यही zone चाहिए ना. मैं आपके पास आता हूँ ना आपके podcast में. I just feel like.
हाँ बिंदास.
ऐसा
But
कुछ बोलते रहो क्या?
this is exactly what we are
cool.
aiming for.
Yes, continue. Enjoying.
So there's another sci-fi thing, okay, where there is a world beyond a mountain, right? And they are like, again, we are like hidden away from the world and there's like no technology in the world, but they have a force field. And I'm like, bijli kidhar se aa rahi? Like, is Adani Electricity made an exception for you?
My God,
like, it is, there's so much of this kind of stuff. Like Prabhas keeps mentioning the fact that he's broke. Right, he has no money. But I'm like, how is your car working? Is it working on solar energy? Because solar energy, as we've discovered, is like maybe 800 years down the line it's possible. But again, impoverished. So there's just so many like all these kind of flaws that I just found very bizarre. The Pan one being the most.
Pan one was my favorite also from what I heard. The thing with I'll tell you, Sorabh, I really. It takes a lot of effort for me to not like a film, okay, for two reasons.
Right.
One is I usually make very conscious choice in terms of what I watch now.
Yeah.
Ki nahi, tried and tested movie I've seen 10 times, I'll watch it again. A movie recommended by so many people whose opinions I respect, so I'll watch it. Secondly, the fact that since I came to Bombay and I saw how films are made, like after having acted in a few web series and sketches and all, I'm like, यार लोग बहुत मेहनत करते हैं यार.
Yeah.
Every shot you watch in cinema, you're like, हाँ एक shot था, but you're like, ये shot के लिए पहले मैं इधर बैठा, एक master लगा, फिर आपका लगा, so 200 people working so hard. So that has little bit changed my perception कि I'm become very liberal with cinema कि नहीं यार ठीक है, effort मारा. Having said that, I'm really questioning Prabhas's movie choice in particular.
Right.
Because I saw Bahubali, which is one of the best movies made in India in many years.
Yeah.
Okay? And then I don't know what happened.
But how was 2? I didn't see 2. I didn't see 2 at all.
2 was fun, yeah. I like both. Bahubali 1 and 2. Like, loved it. Theatrical, like, enjoyed.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Saho and all to just forget. Then he does Adi Purush. I mean, a lot of people have already spoken a lot about Adi Purush, right? So we'll just be adding to that chatter. But legit one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I don't remember seeing a worse film than Adi Purush, despite my expectations being rock bottom.
Right.
But again, coming back to a film based on Ramayana with like a good cast, so bad that it's so bad. It's so bad. It is so bad, Sorabh. Adi Purush is just so bad. And then you do Kalki where, again, same, you're giving me hope.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like watching an Indian cricketing lineup collapsing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like every time somebody new comes, you're like, Virat, out.
Yeah.
Oh, Rohit, ye bhi out.
Adi Purush is 36 all out.
Adi Purush is 36
And
all out.
Kalki is like 150 in the first innings because they're making a sequel.
Yeah, so I hope the sequel is Yashasvi Jaiswal starring. Yeah, man.
Because also like the problem is like I'm probably going to watch the sequel as well.
Yeah,
because like I mean the end, I mean I don't want to reveal too much about the ending to spoiler, but there's like a bit about Kamal Hassan where I'm like abhi dekhna padega. Matlab it's like now there is no option.
I mean, it's Kamal who probably for me is the greatest living actor in this country, in my opinion of cinema.
Right.
And when you add Kamal's name in a movie, you're like, bhai.
Like Vikram, man. Vikram, you told me to watch it.
Vikram,
I loved it.
Again,
What a movie.
I can watch anytime.
What a movie.
I can watch Vikram anytime. And I'm very excited for his next movie, which is Mani Ratnam, called Thug Life.
Thug Life?
Yes.
Wow,
Teaser
dude.
is out. I'm getting
Oh
goosebumps.
my
I don't know
God.
if you can close up. Mani and Kamal after Nayakan, this is like, orgasmic.
Yeah, I like talking movies with you because I realize I'm not, like, I watched, as I said, I saw Paw Patrol. Does that count?
So yeah, some movies disappoint me. Very few movies disappoint me. Like for example, a recent movie that sort of disappointed me is, again, see, disappointment is a function of expectation, right?
Yeah.
Like Buddha said, like desire is the cause of all suffering. Bringing Gautam Buddha casually.
What a great film review here.
like Gautam Buddha said, desire is the root of all suffering. Expectation is what makes a movie good or bad.
Yeah.
So I went to watch Vetiyan, which is Rajni's latest movie.
Yeah.
I watch every Rajni movie in theatre for many years. Now I went, I saved it. Like it came out, I was like, no, I have to watch it with somebody who loves Rajni and all that. So I had a show in Bangalore. So I planned with that, watching a Rajni movie in Bangalore, the city that gave us Rajnikanth. I saw, and it had Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah.
Like Amitabh and Rajni together, like last time they were together was Hum, I think.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, oh, with Fahad Fazil, oh my God, stop it. With the guy who made Jai Bhim, oh my God. Like Jai Bhim, legit one of the greatest films in the last decade or so.
Yeah.
Fahad, Amitabh, Rajni, what is there? I mean, expectations were too high.
Yeah.
From that expectation, the movie really disappointed me.
Oh.
It was just like, bhai, ugh.
Oh, how
There were
sad.
moments. They tried twist and interval point was a nice this thing, but still you were like, and Jailer was the last like big Rajni film I saw.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
And Amitabh was so underutilized. Like you have Amitabh Bachchan and Rajni together. Do something about. Like Jailer has Mohanlal.
Yeah.
Great cameo.
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
but like you
And
have
Jackie Shroff also popping in briefly
Jackie
for like
Shroff
some
doing
time.
little bit.
Once
Even
fire.
Markand Deshpande, no?
Yeah.
He has a nice.
Yeah. So it was like, it was only special appearances popping in, yeah.
And but Amitabh was doing a role which I think Prakash Raj would have done way better.
Right.
And what is he doing? I was very disappointed with Betaya.
So I'll tell you one other thing. Like, I mean, you had a corporate job, okay? So I just thought this was hilarious in Kalki, okay? So there's a place called the Complex, which is the reverse pyramid. And Disha Patni,
Oh, she's
Yeah.
also in the movie.
She's
Yeah,
in the
she
movie,
hasn't
yeah.
entered till the point I watched
yeah,
the movie.
so she gets a job at the Complex. And she's very excited that I've got a job at the Complex. And then Prabhas and her start dancing, whatever, fair enough. They're just dancing about something. And he says, "Mujhe bhi saath mein le jao." And so she takes him for her first day at her job at the Complex, which is the most important place to get a job in this world. And I'm like, you've had a corporate job. Are you allowed to take a +1 for your first day?
अगर ऐसे नौकरी मिलती दुनिया में, imagine we keep talking about unemployment data every day and
Yeah.
too many engineers graduating, nobody's getting a job. Imagine if there was a +1.
Yeah.
कि मैं पहले पढ़ूंगा ही नहीं, क्लास में बैठूंगा, मैं लाइक भाई इंजीनियरिंग प्लेसमेंट जब आएगी तेरा माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में हो जाएगा,
मैं आऊंगा साथ
बस
में.
मैं तेरे साथ आऊंगा. What the hell, man?
It's hilarious. So he comes as a +1 and he's not working only. So she's like, thoda to kaam kar lo, and like 10 minutes he's just doing time pass and looking like, "Are ye acha hai?" And he's dancing. Like, what is going on? And then again, this is where the sci-fi aspect really irritated me. If this was magic, it would make sense. Like if this was Harry Potter universe, I'm like, fair enough. They go to a room, okay, in the complex, which is part of a certain amount of space in the world, right? And they enter a garden, which is a mountain valley full of horses and people having champagne and having I'm like, where did this come from? And then they have
Within
a-
that reverse pyramid.
Within that reverse pyramid, they have a dance sequence. It's a horrible song, by the way. Like the music in this movie is just atrocious. Like I just don't this thing. And I'm like, dude, none of this is sci-fi again. Like it's like imagine in the Matrix. This is suddenly they're like +1. So it's just absurd.
मतलब again sci-fi में थोड़ा सा समझा देना when you watch like a Marvel film
Yeah.
which is again very massy, very बच्चों को भी पसंद आ रही है वो. You always notice कि हर सीन में वो थोड़ा सा कुछ बोल देते हैं.
हाँ,
कि
pretend
गामा रे
करते
का
हैं.
ये हो गया.
हाँ.
You like हाँ कुछ हल्का हो गया.
Unobtainium ऐसा कुछ
हाँ
बकवास
ऐसा
है.
vibrating
कुछ तो
or
logic
something.
डालो. हाँ,
कुछ बोल देते हो कि time on over पर
हाँ.
थोड़ा बोल दे यार. Just respect. थोड़ा respect कर दे science को यार.
So that's Kalki for me. And again, I'll probably watch part 2. I don't think Prabhas was a joker. I think he was trying something, and as an actor, I find it like you got to take the big swings.
Yeah.
Maybe in the second one it'll make more sense or whatever. I just thought the comedy aspects were like very okay. It was just a
Who
strange.
was doing the comedy? Prabhas.
I mean Prabhas only. Prabhas was comedic initially, and the idea is to try and do like end में सबको वही चाहिए ना कि हम बनेंगे Pirates of the Caribbean.
हाँ.
And which is an interesting choice. So yeah,
Like a hero's arc. Like comedy but कुछ redemption रहता है.
हाँ end में अच्छा है मतलब interesting and again last 25 minutes very entertaining. Like
Did
really.
you watch Brahmastra?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Even
I
I
haven't
haven't.
seen it. Yeah.
Wanted, if you had seen that also, I want you to compare.
Yeah. But I mean, I saw the trailer and I'm like, I think I got the movie.
Yeah.
And when I spoke to my friends, they're like, yeah, that's the movie. And I'm like, but yeah, again, due credit, you should probably watch the movie.
Yeah.
So what is the craziest, almost bizarre thing you've consumed in 2024?
See, I saw a lot of great films, but
Yeah.
that we are not talking about. For example, again, recommendation Maharaja? Because there are two things that came out.
The
one
Raj
with
Thackeray
Vijay
one.
Sethupathi. It's called Maharaja.
Oh yeah, Maharaja, the one about
Yeah.
the dustbin wala.
Dustbin,
हाँ,
I think it's
हाँ,
the best film I saw this year. That came out this year. Because I keep watching old films. The one thing that disappointed me of late, because that's the theme, is a show on Sony Live called Freedom at Midnight. Have you seen Freedom at Midnight?
Anuva Pal is in
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Anuva Pal
Have
is
you
in
seen?
it. No, I
Yeah,
haven't
Anuva
seen
Pal is in it.
Yeah.
I saw the first episode. Again, Sony Live, there are many shows I really like. So this
Yeah.
is not like, oh, I love Rocket Boys. So if you're comparing कि Indian made show पसंद नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
हाँ.
I absolutely love Rocket Boys. Of course, Scam everyone loved, so I'm not even talking about it. Freedom at Midnight, again, like Buddha said. Freedom at Midnight is a book I read in school. Like my friend told me that this is a book you have to read to learn about Indian partition and freedom.
Right.
I learned it, I read it
Yeah.
in school almost 20 years back. I have revisited the book so many times. I love Indian history. I love especially like partition, the whole like 47, 48, 51, 52. When I heard that Freedom at Midnight was being adapted on screen, I had the same excitement that I had a few years back when Midnight's Children was being adapted.
Right.
And I was like, boy, oh my God. And made by an Indian, Nikhil Advani, again, somebody I really like otherwise. I'm like, bhai, maza aa jayega. Oh my God, I can't. And you know, like a kid, I would open Sony Live to see ki kab aa raha hai. That level of excitement, which we don't have anymore for web series and all.
Yeah.
Then they said November. I'm like, kab aayega November? Then they said date. I'm like, oh, भाई इस दिन जाना है मुझे एकदम like ऐसा होता है तैयार व्यार होके आप जा रहे हैं कुछ करने. I got so excited. There are many friends of mine who have really liked it also.
Yeah.
Many of my family members have loved it. Anirban loved
Yeah.
it. I don't know, maybe my expectation was too much. The first episode I saw,
Yeah.
I'm like, bhai, this is not done. I'll tell you what all didn't work for me. See, again, when you watch Indian content, with due respect, you calibrate your brain thinking कि इस level का ही होगा. I'm not expecting to watch The Crown, for example. Like again, similar 40s, 50s से शुरू होता है वो. मैं Crown नहीं देख रहा, मैं Indian made show देख रहा हूँ. उसका
मतलब budget के अंदर
हाँ, budget के कुछ
and to create like the Crown requires a crazy.
So in terms of budget mostly, because
Yeah.
acting talent और filmmaking में कोई वो नहीं है. Like budget मुझे लगा ऐसा grand नहीं होगा, but decent होगा, ठीक है. Start हुआ show, और then I'm like, भाई एक second, ये इतना ना फिल्मी क्यों लग रहा है ये? Again, maybe there was a mismatch in what I thought. I'll tell you two examples. Some things you understand there also because you're not watching a documentary.
Yeah.
So I don't expect कि ऐसा मतलब एकदम ही it'll be like a black and white this thing. I know some cinematic choices will be taken. Like opening scene, there's a scene with the Jinnah and the Muslim League coming from one end and you know the Congress coming from one end and meeting top shot. Like ठीक है इतना तो बनता है. लिफ्ट के सामने खड़े हैं और एक एक लाइन ऐसा फिल्मी डायलॉग आ रहा है. I'm feeling little uneasy.
Is this a roast battle?
Yeah, like there's a frame of Patel and Jinnah and Patel says Kemcho, Jinnah bhai, and I'm like, okay, ठीक है. Then he replies something in English and then there's some banter. Then there is a banter between Liaquat Ali and Maulana Abul Kalam Azad and Nehru and you're like, थोड़ा फिल्मी हो रहा है, चल ठीक है देखते हैं. Next scene is an intro of Mountbatten. That blew my mind. ओके सो माउंटबैटन कहीं स्विट्जरलैंड में बैठा है अपने दोस्तों के साथ कुछ कर रहा है गोली मार रहा है ऐसा शिकार कर रहा है नॉट शिकार बट इज लाइक वट एवर पिजन वुडन पिजन वट एवर क्ले पिजन मार रहा है सडनली एक पिजन को पीछे से गोली लगता है लाइक ओ अब क्या हो देन दे रिवील एडवीना माउंटबैटन इज देयर विद अ गन एंड यू लाइक भाई yeah like you didn't need this intro for like you know lady Mountbatten घुस गया गोली मार दिया उधर. This is not the freedom.
This sounds like Deepika Padukone in Pathan or something.
Exactly. Yes. That's the reference. The entry was very like ऐसा कुछ. Like यार ये क्या? And that whole scene.
Imagine Edwina Mountbatten is like the Rajnikanth shot of this movie where she turns on they're like and most people are like is that Edwina?
Yeah.
And then she has a locket of Nehru or something just to like
Yeah,
recreate
just to
the
be like
cliches.
thankfully अभी तक वो part नहीं है. But I was like अरे ये क्या intro है यार? And then that whole scene was like मैंने कहा फिर भी देखते हैं. Some of the casting choices and like some of the casting choices are fantastic.
Yeah.
And some of them are really bad. So it just hurts.
Yeah.
You know. धीरे धीरे करके somehow I finished the first episode. मैंने कहा भाई ये नहीं देख पाऊंगा. I tried my best, but I can't watch Freedom at Midnight. It's a book and that I love too much to be.
What is? I don't even know what the book is. What is
Okay. There's a book by Dominic Lapierre
Right.
called Freedom at Midnight, which obviously, as the name suggests, recounts the events of leading up to India's partition. So whole Ratcliffe and everything, and then just after the partition, unification of India and all that. Very nice. Very, very nice. Like a must read if somebody wants to learn about that era.
Yeah.
Very, very well researched and fun read. It like a non-fiction which is a page turner.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Dominic Lapierre has also written good book on Israel and all that. So Israel, I think it's called.
Sounds great, man. I'll try and read it after I'm done reading The Tiger Came to Tea. which is the book I'm currently reading. It's dude, like and again this is like this is such a cliche parenting thing, right? I was going to Hong Kong to cover the Hong Kong cricket sixes, so anybody has a chance, please go watch some videos of Hong Kong cricket sixes. And I was at the airport and I met my neighbors, and I'm like, hey, where are you going? Yeah, and this couple, and he's like, oh, we're going to New York. I'm like, work and all. He's like, no, I'm going to run the marathon. I'm like, what? And I'm like, this is things you do when you don't have kids. He's like, Sorabh, you're the 8th parent to tell me this last week. I'm like, yes. And yeah, I would love to read more books.
Yeah.
Is my
And write more.
Oh
Sorabh,
my
I'm a
God.
big fan.
Oh my, thanks.
Yeah.
So Freedom at Midnight was but you only watched one episode.
Yeah, one episode. Maybe it gets better later. I don't know. But also my expectations were too much. Those are the two disclaimers that I have.
Hey, by the way, in the comments, let us know what content you consumed in the last this thing that was disappointed you. Like oddly enough, the one thing that disappointed me a lot, I didn't even watch it, but I was just disappointed with I didn't watch it, and just like hearing the stories about it made me sad, which is the Mike Tyson fight.
Oh yeah, yes.
Because I was like, dude, this is like, I mean, and then you start realizing that like people who are actually fighters and are like, dude, it's a 57-year-old man. Do you understand how tough it is to fight at 20 something, whatever the hell it is? I'm like, yeah, fair enough. But I just
had the same reaction.
Yeah,
like when my friends were like, oh, I'm like, what did you expect? Like, what were you expecting with this whole marketing charade from Netflix that was going on for so long? But like, मुझे लग रहा है scripted था. Yeah, मतलब.
Yeah, but do you think this could lead to a fight between Carrie Marathi and the Great Khali? You think that's what we need now? Samay Raina, our friend Samay Raina, yeah, in a kushti with.
Why not? Anything can happen now. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who are the old boxers and all. Yeah. But other thing, but you consume a lot of content in general.
I watch a lot of films.
Yeah.
And also shows. Those are two things I spend, thankfully, touch wood. I don't spend much time on general like reel scrolling, etc. Not much.
That's smart, dude. That's a smart decision.
I have a very like, I'm watching shows. I have these little things that I do with myself. कि हर platform पे एक show एक time पे रहेगा, and I'll go there and watch that.
But you finish it.
I finish it.
Oh my God, dude! Wow.
Like I just I'm rewatching Planet Earth now, which I think.
Oh, that's the David Attenborough.
Yeah,
wala.
David Attenborough.
Oh my
I'm
God.
a big fan of that documentary series. So I'm watching that. I'm watching Mandalorian, like I said. I'm rewatching Game of Thrones, another show I really love. And I keep watching films. I in the last week or so, I've seen Jo Jeeta Bhai Sikandar again. I've seen Sholay again. I saw Company. I saw Jai Bhim. I saw Dalapati. So 5 films in the
this week.
Yeah.
My God, dude.
So.
Dude, I started watching Breaking Bad today.
Yes.
And I'm like, bhai, maja karega, main enjoy karega. And I'm like really getting emotionally invested in the story of the, like, because I don't know, I have a feeling like as I'm getting older, like the cancer thing is like more prominent around you with people and all that kind of stuff. And that started relating a little bit more.
Oh, I didn't think of that aspect of it.
Yeah, and then I think I got through 24 minutes before I was distracted by somebody doing something. Where I think my daughter came home and I'm like, now I must ask you. And then ask you the cliche questions of what did you do in school? And she's like,
But you're rewatching Breaking Bad.
I've never finished Breaking Bad. I'm telling you, I got to the fly scene and I just gave up. I'm like, I can't endure it. But I have a feeling I'll finish off now.
Oh, yeah, get through that fly episode. That's
that fly. And also the thing is like, I just like, you know, there's 2 cliches in American shows that I find very annoying. One is the spoiled brat child. I get it. It really irritates me. It's just so annoying because I'm like, I get that you have freedom of expression, but like, itna disrespect to your parents is like a little bit much. Yeah, it's like as an Indian parent, you're like, boy, ye aise kaise baat karte hai? Fuck you, dad. But just generally, even as a child myself, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then also the other trope which I found like this thing was that I used to get every time Skyler came on, I like, karne de na usko drugs. Kya problem hai tere ko?
There's a whole research about why people hate Skyler White. So you should read it.
But then you think about it, you're like, obviously she's correct in her POV.
She's correct. Every time she comes, she's correct. She's saying the right thing.
Yeah, but you're like, but why are you saying?
But as an audience, you're always like,
मजे के बीच में क्यों आ रही है? चल ना, थोड़ा
करने. I think somebody did one research long time back about comparing Skyler White with, I forget the name now, but Tony Soprano's wife in The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Okay, which both characters on paper are the same. Okay, they're both wives of a criminal. Who want to stop whatever their husbands are doing. But people love Mrs. Soprano. People hate Skyler White. So they're like, what is the difference?
Yeah.
And there is a lot of research around this topic.
I think it's also the actor and all playing them.
Maybe,
right? Like it's like it makes a lot of difference.
Maybe that's great casting. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I think from the POV of what they, because like every time, dude, I started watching Breaking Bad again after like random YouTube videos started popping up. And I'm like, oh yeah, this looks like a good show, yeah, I think. And then 9.3 ratings. I'm like, maybe it's
Greatest show.
Yeah.
I am a big.
It's your favorite show, or what?
It's my favorite drama show of all time, without doubt.
But
It's
what is your favorite? Okay, let's go through the top 5.
Okay.
Let's try this.
Yeah.
Let's try the top 5 top TV shows. And again, the thing is that I realize this all applies to what you watched when you were younger, what you watched like whatever. What are the top 5?
Okay. Breaking Bad is my favorite drama show of all time.
But not drama. I'm saying top 5.
Oh, favorite. Ocha, everything.
Okay, you want to go drama? Let's
No,
go
no, no,
drama.
let's
Let's try drama first. Chalo, let's try drama since we are on the drama. So number 1 is Breaking Bad. Okay.
Breaking Bad is the most perfect show
Yeah.
ever written, ever done. I would. Okay, these are all top of my mind.
Yeah.
I would also rate Better Call Saul as a joint second, very close second, because I can't believe you up the bar on Breaking Bad. I think they've managed to.
You know, oddly enough, I've seen more episodes of Better Call Saul than I've seen of Breaking Bad.
Crazy.
Yeah, I've seen 2.5 seasons of Better Call Saul and really enjoyed.
Oh.
And yeah, very strange. And I enjoyed it because I like Odenkirk as well. Anyway, so then
Okay, so Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. I would. If you're putting fantasy also in drama, then Game of Thrones, except the last. Everyone talks about the last season.
Yeah.
Last 3-4 episodes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in retrospect, again, milestone show changed everything. I'm a big, if I go to Mastermind and they say that एक topic जिस पे quiz करना हो, my topic might be Game of Thrones.
Really?
Yeah, I'm proper. I wouldn't want to brag, but if there's one topic,
It sounds like you are trying to brag.
yeah, it looks like it.
Daenerys के dragon का नाम बताओ.
Yeah, there is Valaris, Drogon, and there is Rhaegal. It's called, basically they are all 3 named after. One is named after her brother who died, Rhaegar Targaryen. One is the brother who dies in the show, then Golden Crown, Viserys, so Viserion. And one is named after Khal Drogo, so Drogon. So.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
This is great. Okay, I'll ask you more questions off the top of my head of Game of Thrones. What are the name of the 7 werewolves? What is it called? Dire wolves.
Yeah, the dire wolves. I'll try and think.
Yeah.
There is Jon Snow has Ghost. Okay. Sansa has Summer. Sansa has Lady. Sorry,
Yeah.
Lady. Arya's wolf is Nymeria. Okay. Rickon Star, the kid, his dog is called Shaggy Dog. Okay. Bran Star's dog is called Summer. That's 5. Rob Star's dog is called Grey Wind. Okay. Which one am I missing? No, I think.
Is it 7 only, no? Is it less?
No, we are done with all.
We are
Jon
done with-
Snow,
Achha,
Rob, yeah.
I mean, there's no way to verify
Yeah,
except
yeah.
me counting, which is a lot of work. Now, here's the biggest question. Let's see if you're how big a fan you are of Game of Thrones. What is the game they're playing?
Of Thrones.
Oh shit! This guy knows what Game of Thrones. He nails it.
Oh, yes.
There used to be an app called Quiz Up.
Yeah.
I used to love Quiz Up.
Same.
And the one which I was the best at was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh,
And
nice.
I used to be number 1 in India in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in Quiz Up. And then I realized because there are like 8 people who are
I'm sure you
excellent,
beat me there. I think.
yeah. I used to be obsessed with that. That's great, man. I like this thing. Okay, so we've got Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Game of Thrones.
We are doing drama, no, right now?
Yeah, we did drama. And then we'll come to the top generally. And that's when we'll end this episode, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul,
Saul.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Which other great drama?
There is
Any
Homeland.
Homeland, first few seasons, fantastic.
Yeah.
The first season particularly, very, very good. First episode, great pilot. The show just nosedives. I've seen very few shows that dip so hard. As if there was a metric to just measure the dip, I think Homeland will top.
Homeland
First
was,
couple of seasons, that just dip so badly. You're like, what happened to this show?
Dude, I can't even remember the other drama. What are the other drama series,
trying to think of
man?
great drama shows.
I'm
I
sure.
don't want to miss.
I genuinely can't remember.
The 3 big ones.
Okay, let's because even I generally can't, or I can remember.
Top 3. Let's make it top 3.
Yeah,
only.
top 3. Like I don't even know what my top 3. I don't even know what the drama shows were. Like Homeland came to mind, but again it fell away towards. I gave up after that. Like I think second last season I gave up.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what my top whatever. I think I watched way less drama than I think. Okay, let's say top 5 TV shows of all time. This is where we're going to end. And again, in the comments, you let us know your top 5 as well, okay? Let's say top 5. And again, this is based on emotions and everything else. And it doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 also. It can just be what are your top 5.
Top
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
Okay, so Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Planet Earth, the documentary,
wow, dude.
all 3 seasons. I think if you want to know about the world,
Yeah.
just feel part of the world and appreciate the Earth
Yeah.
more than you should watch Planet Earth. 3, Seinfeld,
Yeah.
I think would, I mean, it's a tough call between then The Office and still Seinfeld, I think. I think it has
Seinfeld
that-
makes it. That's very entertaining.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
rewatching it now and I'm like, this is like a
also
lot of
emotions, like you said. I
Yeah.
mean, Seinfeld was the one show that I've been like right as a kid when I first saw.
Yeah.
I think it maybe at some level it has affected my life more than many
Yeah.
shows. कि यार ये करते हैं यार, ये
Yeah.
सही लग रहा है यार, मैं जॉर्ज हूँ यार शायद यार. I used to often joke with Rahul.
That
if
you're
he ever-
George, yeah.
if he ever recreate the show in India, he should play Jerry and I should play George. You know,
yeah,
like-
okay. Oh, yeah, Subbu playing Jerry makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
You playing George, interesting
Yeah,
choice. Who's Elaine?
We can figure.
No, but it has to be one of the comedians.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Prashasti Singh.
Prashti could be a great Elaine.
She would be a-
Sumaira
yeah.
could be a great Elaine.
Sumaira would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, if Sumukhi is available.
Kramer. Fuck every. Like, Kramer. Who's going to be
Oh
Kramer?
my god.
Dude, Kramer would be like.
Kramer will be some crazy comic.
It'll have
you
to be
think
somebody
of.
crazy,
Like
yeah.
if Biswa agrees to do Kramer, it will be
Oh
crazy.
my god, Biswa would be great.
Yeah.
Biswa.
I don't think he will say yes to it, but why are
Akash
we
Gupta
getting
is
into
an interesting one. Akash
Akash
Gupta
Gupta
might be.
could do,
Yeah.
But Biswa I thought of because of the,
Yeah,
also
yeah.
the physicality
The
of Kramer.
physicality, yeah.
Just
Yeah, but also like you can like
even Kenny, if he agrees to do Kramer, can be interesting.
Kenny as
Yeah.
Kramer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like that.
Oh
but
my
yeah,
god.
Biswa would be my
Biswa would
my
be
choice.
interesting, yeah. But also Kramer helps a lot of people, and Biswa like he helps people, but you can't tell.
Mood kharab.
He's actually a very helpful guy, but it's just the vibes that he sends are like, is he? But he's
Yeah.
actually quite a helpful
Yeah,
guy. Kramer would be. Yeah. In the comments, let us know who you think. I don't know why I'm asking for many comments.
Yeah.
But I want more CF Abirar.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are yours. Yeah, great. So I'm going to tell you mine. Simpsons.
Oh yes.
I used to love Simpsons, and I think most of mine are going to be comedy. Simpsons, South Park,
Okay.
because South Park still holds up even now. Simpsons is following. South Park is still very funny. Flop Show, dude, I used to love Flop Show. I started rewatching, and then who pointed out? I think Tandon told me, he's like, "Bhai, 27 episode the uske."
Yeah. Tandon
I was
just
like,
told me this.
Yeah,
in
and I was like, dude,
another
what the
podcast.
fuck are you talking? And then I started watching Flop Show again. It still holds up.
Yeah.
It's still fantastic. I love Flop Show. Game of Thrones for sure, and Rick and Morty probably. Except the last season was a little
nice.
bit bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah, the latest season.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
bit bizarre
yeah.
because you know what the thing is that the first few seasons of Rick and Morty was interesting because the animation was controlled and they were in the limits of like trying to be more dialogue based. Now every episode is ending with a giant sequence of a war.
Correct.
And I'm like, मैं Marvels देख रहा है क्या? ये क्या
Yeah,
चल रहा है? मतलब हर episode में ये क्या चल रहा है? Like I want more of like some chutiap, not like this. And of course, my favorite show of all time is Pari War.
Oh my God, Sorabh, I'm honored. People in comment, not even comment, people are watching, please go and check out Pari War on Hotstar.
And it was free on Hotstar during the pandemic. I remember. Yeah.
Wow, and what an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
It has Gajraj Rao, Vijay
Gajraj
Raj,
Rao,
Yashpal Sharma,
Yeah.
Anurita, there's Nidhi
Ranveer
Singh,
Shori.
Ranveer Shori, Abhishek
Fun show.
Banerjee, and of course
But yeah,
Kumar
I would say yeah, South Park still holds up. There's a lot of them. But anyway, Kumar Varma, this has been a pleasure of your time. And again, 2024, I'm going to try and watch more movies next year. It's interesting that you say like you don't watch reels. Like I realize my consumption patterns are basically the same as they were before, but I'm watching nonsense.
Yeah, but I'm also watching more than I used to.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to be like, I just put some limit to, like, I this crazy thing that has happened in the new iPhone. I don't know if it's there in the previous iPhones, but there's one thing which is, if your phone is very close to you,
Yeah.
it gives you a warning saying phone too close. Okay, so you just keep one hand distance just to be like, ऐसा, हाँ. तो वो warning ऐसा मैं reel देखते हुए आता और वो जैसे warning आता है ना, I'm like, okay. For some reason, I've associated these two. Last month or so, since I got the new one, has been that.
Yeah.
जैसे हुआ, "Look, कुछ करना है यार life में." Wake up. So I'm not dissing watching reels, but I've maintained.
No, I think we should diss watching reels. I think it's a useless fucking waste of time. Like I've spent a lot of time watching it, and it's like inevitably how like the number of horny reels that start popping up if you click on one in the night, and you're like, what is happening to me? Like,
brain rot. That's
yeah,
the word
it's
of the
so
year.
fucking stupid. Like, dude, I at least used to like respect myself when I would watch like hydraulic press videos. I'm like, at least there's some like there's some non-sexual thing to this. Now it's just like the number of and then you click on one, you're like, "Arey, this is also," and then you're like, dude, now I'm starting to report them. I'm like, enough. This is getting disturbing for me as a human being.
Crazy.
Hydraulic press videos. Anyway, Kumar, anything coming up? Would you like to promote, plug anything that's coming up in your life? Yeah.
Just my YouTube channel. We are trying to do a lot of small things on the
Yeah.
channel. Quizzing every Sunday. Then there's Mahabharat every Monday, and quizzing with members. And I've also started something called World History. Just come to the channel, see if you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, check out Kumar on Quizzing with Comedians.
Yes.
Yeah, where I finally won last time. It was very exciting. First time I won because I prepared and came. It was very exciting.
Really?
Yeah, I little bit like went through quizzes and
Just,
all. Yeah, because I did one with the one which we did in Kala Ghoda. I met Sahil Shah after that and he's like, oh, I prepared and came. I'm like, you bastard.
remember.
I didn't know you're supposed to prepare.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, maybe if everybody's doing it, I should also. Anyway.
But sorry. On that,
Yeah.
A lot of people tell me this, so I just wanted to talk about it. Prepare in the sense not like तुम पढ़ के गए और वही question आ गया.
Yeah.
I think it just gets your brain in that zone.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
more like, that's what is more helpful.
Yeah.
थोड़ा quiz वगैरह आप देख लेते हो, कुछ पढ़ लेते हो, तो you feel like हाँ, okay.
Yeah.
The brain gets into that zone.
The brain gets into it, yeah. But also, I mean, the more research you do on any topic, the more answers will likely
वो तो
pop
है,
up.
yeah.
Our topic was about horny Instagram reels. That's why I won. It was a great victory for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, for everybody watching, if you'd like to sponsor the show, whether you are a nut-based company,
Garden,
a
Apple,
soda-based company, a watch-based company, whatever you do, get in touch. And I have nothing much to promote if shows are there.
No,
Yeah,
Adidas.
I'm wearing Adidas, which is the only shoes I ever buy.
Yeah. And New Balance, another brand I really love.
Yeah.
Just putting it out.
Happy to be sponsored by Blue. Either of us, even if you get the money, good. Somebody
Great.
give us money is all we
Give
want.
us money.
Hire me for corporate shows. Hire us for corporate shows. I do hosting also. Give me
Yeah.
something. This we do only for time pass and fun and entertainment.
Just to drink.
And if you enjoyed, again, let us know which movie you found was like bizarre in 2024. Top 5, all the rest of that. And keep watching and we'll be back with cricket stuff soon. Thanks a lot. Kumar Varun, we finally achieved success. Thanks a lot, my friend.
Always a pleasure, Sorabh. I will never say no to you
Arey.
on podcast.
Thanks, brother.
You've given me some of my greatest memories in life.
Love you all. Marry me. Goodbye. Fun, dude. And immediately happened.
जल्दी खिला शराब पी रहा हूँ बिना चखने के